The only thing I ever wanted as a kid was a Banshee. I want a Banshee, want a Banshee. Thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Got one when I was like 15, I think.
So he got hurt at work, and I'm like, you know what? Like, if you're not gonna race it, I can try it.
Yeah, try it out.
So I raced Ironman, and then after that race, I'm like, hey, you think we can build the practice bike, like the one we ride tandem, into my race bike?
I feel like at this moment, I still feel like I had more to prove and could have done better, but
Yeah.
It's a lot with both of us racing and both
Right.
of us working, and just moved back to Vet A this year to have some fun with it. The cleanup sucks, but I do enjoy a good mud race.
Florida this year, I tend to do good at Florida.
Okay.
Years in past, I won it for several years in a row, and then last year Hannah won it. This year I got it back, so I was happy about that. So I mean,
Ever since I was a local C-class rider, like I just wanted to make a impact and a difference at the track, like on the track, the way that I ride, the way that I uphold myself, the way that I interact with people off the track.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Leon with Four Wheel Frenzy, and we have a new episode. And today I've got two guests for a race discipline that I've never really featured before. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
I'm Alex Elioff, and this is my wife.
I'm Jessica Elioff.
And what do you race?
We race the GNCC series.
GNCC. And now, Jess, you're running the WXC series, correct?
Yes.
Alex, what class are you running?
So this year I'm racing Vet A. I did race XC2 the last 2 years, but decided to take a step back and go to Vet A this year.
Okay. Just something a little bit different, huh?
Yeah, just I'm getting a little bit older, and XC2 is full of a bunch of young, fast kids, and just tough to manage everything and trying to have a little bit more fun with it and take a step back and still be involved and just enjoy it.
There you go. I get it. So let's kind of bring it back a little bit. Now, Alex, I believe you've been riding longer, correct?
Yeah, quite a bit longer.
So what got you into riding and eventually racing ATVs yourself?
So when I was a kid, my dad had some four-wheelers. He had a Banshee and a Warrior, and just rode in the backyard, rode some trails, and I can remember the only thing I ever wanted as a kid was a Banshee. I want a Banshee, want a Banshee. Thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Got one when I was like 15, I think. And then a friend of ours got us into racing a local motocross track out in Amherst, and started going there and raced C-class on pretty much a stock Banshee. And
That sounds brutal.
yeah, it was, but I was having a ball.
Yeah.
And then basically got a 450 shortly after that. Raced motocross for several years, and that's when I met my wife. We were dating at the time, and still raced motocross. And then we had a bone stock YFZ that we just rode tandem in the woods for the fun of it, and slowly transitioned into let's go watch one of these woods races. Oh, well, if we're gonna go watch, I might as well race it. And just transition, tried something different, and really enjoyed it, and here we are.
There we are. Yeah. What year was that first cross country race? Do you remember?
So it was 2016.
Okay.
We had just had a free weekend, and we were gonna go watch at Powerline Park. Never been to a local woods race or anything, and just said, no, let's go watch it. Powerlines. It looks like a good time.
Well, you had just graduated paramedic school.
Yeah, and I
So
just
he
finished
was like,
paramedic
you know what,
school.
let's go do something fun.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
went there and had no clue what it was about.
Yeah.
And dummy me said, oh, well, if we're going to go watch, I might as well race it, right?
Yeah.
And
You have to, right?
just had no clue what I was getting into, but had a blast. And 2017 only raced one as well. It was just a busy year for us with getting married, new full-time job, buying a house, all that. And
Yeah.
so I would say my first full season was in 2018.
Okay. So it's been a decade now since you did your first one, but then you started in 18. That was full GNCC schedule.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And Jess, how about you? What got you into ATV riding and racing?
Well, I grew up riding four-wheelers,
Okay.
but never rode a sport quad, never a 450 that had a lot of power until I met him.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool, he races motocross. Like, we used to be into motocross, but on the dirt bike side.
Okay.
So I grew up around it, and I stopped racing dirt bikes on like a 65.
Okay.
So I was young, but always been competitive. And then I met him. I was like, well, sweet. Like, he's pretty cool. He races four-wheelers. And we used to make fun of the four-wheelers being dirt bike. People were like, oh, let's watch the four-wheelers to watch them wreck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I met him, and like he said, he did motocross.
Okay.
And then his full season was 2018, except for the last one at Ironman. So he got hurt at work, and I'm like, you know what? Like, if you're not gonna race it, I can try it.
Right, try it out.
So I raced Ironman, and then after that race, I'm like, hey, you think we can build the practice bike, like the one we ride tandem, into my race bike? He's like, yeah, I mean, why not? So, but prior to that, like he said, we rode tandem in the woods together, and all the time he'd be like, hey, you want to drive it? Like, you can go in front. And I'm like, no, these things are too fast. They're too powerful. You do good, and I'm just going to hold on.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? Let's just go race in the woods. And yeah, I just kind of went for it because he was hurt with hernia surgery.
Okay.
And so he wasn't able to like walk the track with me, not like point out lines. There's a couple hill climbs at Ironman. So the one guy that got us into it walked the track with me, helped me out, pointed me lines. So I'm like, I can't even walk my first race with him. I'm really just going in blind here. And if something happens, he can't go help me because he can't really walk. So,
I suppose, yeah. And I was going to say, like, since you had pretty much been there all season, I'm sure you had met some friends at that point. So at least you had somebody to walk the course with.
Yeah.
Which probably helped a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was 2018 of your first race. And then was 2019 kind of when you both rolled into it? And
yeah, we both raced a full season in 2019.
Okay. And then 18 on that first race of yours, what class did you run?
The women's amateur.
Okay. I wasn't sure because I know there's the WXC. Is there a lot of different women's classes at the GNCC?
There used to be just WXC and then women's amateur.
Okay.
And like girls could race any of them.
Okay.
But then this year there's a women's 25 plus and then a women's 15 plus.
Okay.
So they got rid of.
And there's a women's C.
Okay.
Okay.
So this year the class has changed a little
bit.
bit.
So it went from 2 to 4, at least 4.
Yeah.
Okay. And then are there youth, like girls classes too?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a lot like the motocross then where you've got a bunch of different age ranges and then with your WXC, which is the pro women's class. Okay. And so the highest you went, Alex, was going to be XC2, you said?
Correct. Yeah. Okay. I raced my first year. I raced Junior B in 2018. And then I guess I didn't think I did, but according to AMA, they thought I did good enough and forced me to A class. I don't know if they can do that in motocross. If they can advance you.
Yeah, they encourage it, but basically, if you're the champion, you get a year to back that up.
Okay.
And before you have to move up.
So in 2018, that was my first year, and I finished 4th in points in Junior B, and AMA forced me to A class.
Okay.
So I raced A class, Junior A in 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. So for 5 years.
Okay, and that's a fast class.
Yeah, it's a very fast class. Was on like the amateur overall podium a couple times.
Okay.
Basically got to the point to where in 23, I came down to the last race of the year battling for a championship with a young kid. He's a super good kid. I think highly of him. And they lowered the class age from 20 to 19 or 18 that year. And he like just aged in. And I was 30 at the time. So I was like, oh, this young kid. And, but no, it came down to the last race of the year. We had good battles all year. And like midway through the year, I told myself like, hey, I'm not going to run Junior A next year. I'm either going to race Vet A or XC2, which is Pro-Am. And then it got to the point where I was like, you know what? If I don't do it now, I'm only going to get older and I'll regret it. So raced Pro-Am for 2 years and had some really good races that I was happy and proud of. And some bad races to where I feel like at this moment I still feel like I had more to prove and could have done better. But it's a lot with both of us racing and both of us working, and just moved back to Vet A this year to have some fun with it and enjoy it a little bit more.
There you go. Yeah, and obviously that's a whole reason why we started doing this in the first place. So, but yeah, I mean, XC2, that had to be probably very brutal at times.
Yeah, I mean, the class is huge. There's a deep field of talent.
Yeah.
I mean, anywhere from the top 12 to 15 guys, and any of them could be a top 5 guy, depending on how the race goes.
Which is really good.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, there's battles throughout. It was like if you made one mistake or tried to relax and catch a breather for, I don't know, 30 seconds or a minute, you had 2-3 guys on your tail immediately. And you were in battles, whether you were running the top 5 or if you're trying to get in the top 10. Just really, really talented guys throughout, and they're all good. Everyone can start. Everyone pushes to the end of the race. It's tough, fun, good, frustrating.
Yeah.
All of the above.
It's entertaining for anybody that's not on the course at that time.
Yeah.
Or in that class, I should say.
For sure.
Yeah, because that's the other thing too is with GNCC, it's not like there's one class on the track at once.
Nope.
You've got it's AM and PM, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So like in the morning, so she races in the morning, and you have some 4x4 sport classes. So you have 4x4 Pro, 4x4 A, B, and C. You have women's pro, women's amateur, and then you have a bunch of you have like sportsman A and B, which are non-points classes. And then you have a bunch of like C classes and some kids that are like 14 to 16 that are coming up through the ranks and riding some 250s or some hybrids. And there's, I think on average, around 250 quads in the morning race.
That's crazy.
So yeah, they just basically line them up in a field and one after another every 30 seconds they let another row go, and
each class has a different color sticker on the back of the helmet, which is how they determine
who you are.
Yeah, or if you come up behind someone, you can see the sticker and know what class they're in.
Okay. So that's your way of knowing, like, I need to get around this person right now, or, I may not have to bump them into a tree.
Yeah. Yeah. It helps for sure, like, halfway through the race when you're starting to come up on lap traffic of, like, I don't know. And we know typically who's in your class just by looking at them and know the people.
Right.
You can also, or for people watching, they're like, oh, are they in the same classes? But as they go by, if you look at the back of their helmet, 2 different color stickers, no, they're not in the same class.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So you don't feel so bad at times.
No, not at all.
So, Jess, when you ran the amateur women's class then, at what point did you step up to WXC?
My first year in 2019, I was 1 point away from winning the championship.
Okay.
So then I was like, okay, I think I can do it this next year. So 2020, I won the championship. And then 21, I moved up to WXC.
Okay. And then, I guess we'll give it away now. You are a multi-time WXC champion, correct? What year was your first championship?
2022. 23. Yeah, because I took third the 20. Now you're making me think. So, yeah, I won the championship in women's amateur in 2020, and then 21 I took third. I think I took third.
I don't remember.
I should know that.
Regardless.
Regardless. So I won the championship in 23 and then again in 24.
Okay.
And then last year, Chloe Harper got it.
Okay. So it took you essentially a couple years to kind of get acclimated with it, snag a couple championships, and then you lost it last year. And, I mean, we'll talk about this more later, but you're already at a pretty good start this year to maybe making it happen again. So pretty impressive, especially for someone that's only been racing these things for a few years now. It's pretty good.
The first couple years, I was still I know it sounds dumb, but learning how to ride a quad, like a sport quad.
Yeah.
Because there were things where I'm like, I should know how to do this. Like, it comes so natural for the other girls. But he's like, Jess, they've been racing since youth classes,
Right.
like young. And you started racing when you were 23, 24. And so I'm like, all right, I guess I'll take that into consideration.
Yeah.
But me being competitive, I'm like, I should know this. This should
Yeah.
come natural to me. Like,
Well,
I should know how to do this.
And growing up on riding dirt bikes, that it's still a gas, brake, clutch, rear brake, shifter, but your body language is completely different from a dirt bike to a four-wheeler. Like, you have to basically relearn how to ride it all over again.
Yeah.
After however many years.
Yeah. And not hit trees.
Yeah.
And
You're
all
not
the
in
other
open fields here either. Yeah. So there's a lot of things you're worried about on top of don't kill it, don't look like a fool, like it all adds
and
up.
a lot heavier machine.
Yeah, that too.
And we've learned that throughout the years too, just making different adjustments because he's like, he can do something and I'm like, I physically can't do that with the bike. And he goes, well, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know, my hands aren't as big as yours, so we had to get like adjustable levers. And then like my body positioning, I'm like, well, I can't make the bike do that because I have to be here on the bike when you're saying, well, you're further back on the quad and then I need to be more central. And just different things of learning of it just comes super natural to him because he's been doing it pretty much his entire life. And then me going over to such a powerful machine and then learning how to just do everything, trying to do everything that he does. But
you're taking the notes that he has to say and then you realize, well, it just doesn't work for me, period.
Right. I'm like, you're taller, you're stronger.
Way more, like there's a lot.
And
I think that's another thing too, that you always, it doesn't matter what you're racing, you're always going to have that person, or you're going to go up to somebody and be like, how do you do that? Well, maybe you just can't do it the way they do it.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't think most people probably don't even think about that. They just, you can do it, I can do it, how do we do it?
Right.
Yeah. I would say for sure, like, that was a big learning curve and adjustment for trying to help her and her trying to get better of like
both of us, really.
Yeah, both of us. Like, me trying to figure out how to help her and her wanting to excel. It's like, okay, well then how does this work? Because things that work for me, like we said, don't exactly work for her in the same manner. And I would say most people that either race or only have a kid that races, like, they don't see that because they don't have two different people, two different sizes, weights, strengths,
or my
experience.
Terminology.
Terminology, trying to figure out what she's telling me.
I grew up around it, but then he knows all the logistics.
Technical.
Yes, all the technical things.
Yeah.
He's like, well, Jess, what's it doing? I'm like, I don't know. Like, he's like, well, is it rolling? Is it tipping? Is it? I'm like, I just don't like it. I don't know. Or I'll like say something and he goes, okay, that means this. I'm like, sure. I don't know.
No, I get it. And dealing with especially youth riders too, it's kind of that same deal. Like, one of my really good friends is a shock guy, and someone will come up and be like, oh, it's not right. Well, you can't ask a kid, what's it doing? Because they don't know. So he always goes, do your hands hurt or does your butt hurt? And then we know like what we need to work on here.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's crazy. And, like you said, also for you, Alex, coming from the motocross world and moving into GNCC, it's not like you probably just hopped on and it became second nature.
No.
Like, it's, you have to ride it differently.
Definitely.
It's because that's the other thing too, is you're not out there for just a set number of laps, and your laps aren't, we'll say 2 to 3 minutes long.
No.
I mean,
it's drastically different. I can definitely say my first year racing in the woods, I was humbled pretty quickly.
I could imagine.
I had high expectations and felt like I was pretty decent racing motocross and thought a lot of it would transfer. And some of it did. I mean, the riding aspect did, but it's definitely drastically different. Took me a good several years to finally feel like I had all the tools. I knew how to do it. I could put races together. So
right. Yeah. I mean, your machine in this element, you're going to make changes or build a whole new machine for it. You're still going to learn and figure out the machine, but now it's just okay, I'm not too concerned about this thing staying flat in the corner so I can go wide open. Now I probably need to keep this thing a little taller because these ruts are going to get deep. And, you got to play the long game at all times.
Yeah. Everything about it that is different. The setup, the riding style, how you ride the bike, like how you attack a corner. A lot of it's different. On some tracks, I do feel like the motocross background helps me in some aspects, but it's not all the time because we race in the woods. Right, so it just depends on the openness and the flowiness of the track. Sometimes suits my past a little bit better.
Yeah.
But
so, like I know Ironman, you run part of the track there. Are there any other courses where you run some motocross sections too?
Not really anymore. There used to be, it used to be called Sunday Creek, which is the Chom Penton for us.
Yep.
They since then have torn down that motocross track. We used to race a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And even in recent years, we don't really do much on the track at Ironman anymore.
Or they'll run it backwards for us.
Oh, yeah.
So we can't actually hit the jumps.
Yeah. You don't have like motocross flashbacks when you're on that.
not too much. And I think a lot of it is insurance reasons, which I get.
Oh, yeah,
I get that,
for sure.
But no. And there used to be even like some creek jumps that were a blast. At a couple of tracks. But even that, a lot of that has gone away, unfortunately.
Okay.
But
I know it seems like every year you'll have shorts or reels or whatever pop up on social media. It's like, this looks sweet.
Yeah.
You're jumping a creek or whatever. It's even like the hill climb at Ironman too.
Yeah.
Like all the videos that come from that, it's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like some people probably get excited and other people get really scared.
Yeah.
But yeah, so kind of, you both have been racing for a good amount of time now. And obviously you're 3 rounds in already, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3. You both are on Yamahas, correct?
Yep.
And so does that seem to be the machine that everyone's running for the most part?
Yeah.
I used to be probably pretty similar to motocross. Mostly Yamahas and a good bit of Hondas still. And I feel like the last couple of years, there's been more of a transition to Yamaha. And we've never been on Hondas, so I don't know why they don't make a sport bike anymore or why it took people long to transition. I don't know if it's parts availability or cost or efficiency or what the deal is, but it's heavily Yamaha.
Yeah. And I'm sure you were the same way too, because you raced moto. Your machine was a Yamaha then too.
Yep, I've had Yamahas. I've
since
rode
the Banshee.
Since the Banshee, exactly. I've rode quite a few of the other brands, almost all of them.
Yeah,
but they were someone else's machines. They were never mine.
Right.
So.
Yeah, because like I'm sure you remember this too. There was a time where you were the black sheep and the weird one because you rode a Yamaha.
Oh,
It's like, get a Honda. Why are you riding that stupid thing? And now tables have turned, haven't they?
Yeah, big time. When the first couple of years they came out with the EFI Yamaha, it was like, you don't want that. Get a carburetor. Get a Honda. Like anything else, and they're slow. They're not reliable. You can't make power, and they can't get the suspension right on them. And it's. The tables have turned.
Yeah, now we're making more power out of those. The suspension setup is better, and and that was the other thing too. Is like, oh, the suspension's not that good, and now it's like, oh well, the YFZ has like a dirt bike style rear linkage, so it's a lot better. Why weren't you saying this 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really cool. Obviously, Yamaha still supports the sport. There's. In some of the amateur classes, I could see some of these, like that KO that just came out. I can maybe see that doing well on the cross country side of things.
Yeah.
We'll see. As far as I know, nobody even has one yet.
Yeah.
So we'll see if maybe some of those start popping up here and there. But yeah, it'd be cool to, obviously, we all want more brands to get involved.
Yeah. But it helps everybody. Helps
exactly.
The sport.
But yeah, it is still cool to hear that there are a decent amount of Hondas there too.
Yeah. Yeah, there are.
On the moto side of things, like there's still some out there in the amateur classes, but most of those at this point are hybrids.
Yeah.
So. And then that's the other thing too. Like hybrids, they haven't really taken off in cross country, except for the youth classes. I know there's a good amount of hybrid youth classes yet.
Yeah, in the youth there's some, and but even those compared to, I mean, there's probably only 5 or 10% that are hybrids.
Okay.
And it's those top elite youth kids that are not old enough to be on a 450 yet, but their talent and their speeds exceeds what some of the youth quads can give. So.
Right. Yeah, because like I see good amounts of like the CRF 150 engines and different chassis.
Yep.
Whether it's a Raptor chassis or just a complete mod chassis.
Yep.
But you see some of that, and up until this year, obviously you would have had some 250 mods in the All-Star class. Is that
Correct.
what it is in the youth? Now they have the 400cc D-bore class or
Yep.
D-bore rule in that.
Yeah.
Which is, have you seen much of that class? Is that pretty much what everyone went to for this year?
I don't know. I can't say, and it's probably bad. I haven't completely paid attention to it. I do know that I think there's more riders in that class now. There's a couple of riders that still had like the 300 KTM motors that just stuck with that because they already had that setup.
Right.
The
money is already spent.
Money's already spent. They already got the bikes. They already got the setup. They're comfortable and happy with them.
For sure.
But I do believe there's more riders in that. There's a lot more riders that you just hear of saying, "Oh yeah, well I'm running a 400 D-bore now," and you would never know it. Yeah. There's a younger girl that Jess raced against last year, racing WXC on a 400 D-bore.
Okay.
Definitely way more common. I think it's a more practical solution and answer for some of these kids.
Yeah, definitely. And that kind of made me think of another question here too. Is you guys are talking about how your riding style is different.
Yeah.
But how about the machine setup? Because obviously you guys are building your own machines and maintaining them. Do you have, how different is your bike setup from one another?
From each other, we try to make them as similar as possible.
Okay. I could see why.
Very interchangeable parts.
Yeah.
Just for like simplicity. And I try to keep between each of us having a race bike and a practice bike. It's a lot to keep up with. So for simplicity of having parts on hand and not having to order them when you need them,
right,
makes it simple. So we try to keep it all the same, but like some common differences are obviously valving and suspension setup. They're the same parts, the same products, but suspension shock setup.
Yeah.
We run different throttle housings. We run different throttle body setups, different intakes, different clutches, different front brake master cylinders.
Okay.
I think that's about it. Different seats.
Okay.
Up until this year.
Yeah. This year, this is the first year with a different seat, but
okay.
Yeah, some differences, but for the most part, pretty similar. We previously ran different motor packages.
All right.
Up until this year, they're pretty much the same, besides cams.
Okay.
So
okay.
Try to keep everything.
And is that just because of personal preference?
Yeah, just personal preference as far as what works and what power you can handle without getting too worn out, because they are endurance races.
Yes.
You don't need all the power that they have in a motocross bike, because you either A, you can't handle it and you're going to smoke a tree in the woods, or B, it wears you out and then you can't stay consistent.
Then you're losing positions because you're smoked.
Correct.
Yeah. And now with Vet A and WXC, are you both out there for the same duration?
Yes, just different times. I'm in the morning and then he's in the afternoon, but it's still 2 hours.
Okay. So it's 2 hours across the board. Doesn't matter that you're technically into an amateur class now.
Correct. It does not matter. All the adult ATV classes, from the amateur classes to women's pro, the 4x4 pro, the XC1 and XC2, they're all 2 hour races.
Okay. So the only way you get it shorter is if you're in a youth class.
Correct.
Okay. And what's the time for a youth class?
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half. So just 30 minutes knocked off.
Are they an hour? I think they're an hour.
Is it an hour?
I believe they're an hour. Youth should be an hour.
Oh,
the micros are 30 minutes.
Okay.
Youth is an hour.
Okay. So I mean, I guess that's a huge difference then, really. If you're going from an hour to 2 hours.
It is.
Yeah.
Wow. And I mean, that's a lot of time on a four-wheeler, so you need to make sure you're comfortable and you're not going to wear yourself out.
Yeah.
So
It's a big part of it.
I bet. And I mean, also with you having your bikes mostly similar, it's probably a lot easier when it comes to off season, trying to figure out partnerships and stuff like that. You know, we can, if we both go to this one brand, it's less stuff you're hauling around because, I mean, obviously you're probably not carrying a lot of spares to the track because something happens, you're just done.
Maybe the normal
you are
person wouldn't carry a lot lot of parts.
You are
but
correct.
Alex is Mr. Prepared.
Yeah.
I over prepare for sure.
Okay.
I don't know why, I just do. And part of it's because, like, so for example, between round 2 and 3, they're back-to-back weekends,
right?
Both in Florida, and it used to be Georgia. It's been Alabama more recently, and so I do keep like 1 to 2 of pretty much everything in the trailer.
Okay.
Top ends, radiator, swing arm, steering stem, every bearing, ball joint, seal, keep a spare axle, and I'm way over prepared, and hardly ever do we need it, but there's way more times than not to where I get someone to come up to me at the track and say, "Hey, do you have this?"
They know you have it.
Oh yeah, I got it, and they just pay me what it costs to replace it, and I'm happy to help other people out, and it also makes at least me feel better knowing that if we need something, I got it.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, unfortunately, for the 2-hour race, if something was to happen, like all the parts that we have in the trailer, we're not gonna exchange the parts out during the race. Like you're just gonna tough it out and finish the race.
Yeah.
But then, like he said, a lot of people know that we have that stuff, so then they just
there has been a couple of like just unique events previously. She had a fuel pump failure or it was beginning to fail at the one event last year, and not that I swapped a fuel pump out with the one I had in the trailer, but like because we run the same stuff and that is the same, I just took my tank off and I did a tank swap mid race.
Feasible,
yeah. And like the round 1 this year, thankfully we didn't need to, but she had like a fluke accident and issue with her throttle cable.
Okay.
And
that was a round 1, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
And was able to fix it mid race, but like I had another throttle cable to where sure we would have been down a ton of time, but still could have finished the race and got some points back because of having parts there versus having a DNF.
Yeah.
So
well, and I know, Jess, you stayed south between round 1 and 2, correct?
No.
Oh, no.
I went home, but then I went down a little early.
You just went early. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, that would probably help, too, you know, if one or both of you were staying out on the road and you've got a vehicle full of spare parts. Yeah. You know, you can at least train and ride and know that you're covered if you're out on the road.
Yeah.
Yep.
So. Although I'm not a very good mechanic.
She learned this winter though some more. She had to do some of her own stuff this winter.
I did.
Well, I mean, as long as you have the simple maintenance down, that's usually pretty good.
Yeah. I know how to do I would feel a decent handful if something were to happen on the track. Like he's taught me the simple things that I can do. Yeah. But like with my throttle sticking, it was wide open.
Oh,
and I'm like, he never taught me how to do this. Like I'm like jiggling the cables and the wires up at the front. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then I'm like, okay, well I can just clutch it to get back to my pit to him, and then then he can fix it.
Well, at least you knew like that much instead of just pulling off and pulling the tether and calling it quits.
Yeah, I'm not a quitter.
Yeah, well, that's good. So what was that, just a cable issue then?
Yeah, yes. There was her and another rider came together, had some contact, and my guess would be something caught the throttle cable as it threads into the throttle body.
And kinked in.
And it's like, it's almost pressed into that female black threaded piece. It pulled the sheathing completely out of that. Past the rubber grommet that goes over as the cover, so it stretched the cable and it was stuck wide open.
Yikes.
Once we got back, I ended up basically ripped the rubber grommet off and shoved the cable back into that female black threaded part, and it was good enough.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
So,
now, was that earlier in the race, or was that kind of?
It was the first lap.
Oh, yeah.
It was coming to the finish line of the first lap, and that, like he said, we came in contact with another rider, and then I don't know if it was the quad, if it was my leg, like the boot or something, but it stuck wide open, and I went flying into this dirt mound over the handlebars, and I'm like, wow, what just happened?
Yeah.
And I like plug my tether cord back in, wide open. I'm like, oh crap, what do I do? So then I'm like, okay, I'm within like a half mile of knowing where he was at.
Yeah.
So then, like he said, I got to him, and he's going like this. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, what's wrong? I'm like, my throttle's stuck wide open. What do you mean what's wrong? Can you not hear it?
Yeah.
He's like, I just thought you were on the pipe. I'm like, no.
We're not racing two-strokes anymore.
No, so yeah, we had to leave the track, go to the trailer, fix it, and then I had to re-enter where I left, and then make up a bunch of time.
Okay.
So, but at least I still had 4 laps to make up time on.
Yeah, and I mean, regardless, you didn't really, like you said before, you didn't really have the time to change out a cable and do it right.
Yeah.
You just got to do a trackside repair.
Yeah, I would have if that's what we needed to do, but the quickest solution was just to fix that and keep it going the way it was.
Yeah. And I guess that's the other big thing, too, with GNCC and I think most cross-country races, you're on the track for 2 hours. There is a pit area, like a hot pit, I guess it would be. You can pull off, refuel, change goggles.
Yeah, you definitely you need fuel.
Yeah,
you will run out if you don't pit for fuel. Goggles are optional, but we pretty much a regular stop for us is goggles and fuel.
Okay. Yeah, and how big are the tanks that you guys are running?
They are 3.8 gallons.
3.8 gallons, almost 4 gallons, and it's still
not enough.
Yeah,
it's close.
If you slowed down, it'd probably be good.
Yeah, some people can make it.
Yeah.
If you get lapped, most of those people will make it.
Yeah.
But we've figured it out, like how long it takes me roughly to run out of fuel, how long it takes her to run out of fuel, and then take into the factor of the flow of the track of how fast it is, how slow or tight it is. It's like, okay, we have until roughly this ballpark of time until we're gonna run out.
So you're strategizing the stops to maximize the efficiency and stay out on the course as long as possible.
Yeah, I'd say it's a strategy between time, where our pit is located on the track, and like how much time she's been out there, along with track position and or the other girls she's racing against, like her position in relation to them as far as, okay, when's going to be a smart time to stop.
Right. Yeah, and so I mean that's the other thing too, I guess, is you're with cross country racing or GNCC specifically, like you're not only figuring out, where on the track can I make moves. Logistically, you're figuring out when's going to be the time to make a pit stop, when's it going to be, doing all this other stuff, because both machines have quick fill, like the dry brake, right?
Yep, correct.
So it's not like a fuel stop takes that long.
They're about 8 seconds for...
Yeah, you're not sitting there waiting on a 5-gallon can.
No,
you just keep...
Nope.
Yeah.
8 seconds, you get about 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons of fuel and goggles.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty quick. That's kind of NASCAR status there.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. And, do you ever have tires or anything like that just in case there's a puncture, or do you not even bother?
We don't even bother. We run tire balls for run flat system. Yeah. No, it's not ever...
Most of the time with the balls and the tires, even if you get a flat tire, I can't really tell. He probably
it's not as noticeable.
But the balls definitely keep it inflated enough to where you can finish the race.
Yeah, it's not like it's a total flat tire.
Right. It's not worth... And even if it were to be, it's not worth the time to pull over to change a tire. You're going to lose so much time.
You got mud plug, 4 lug nuts, and then redo it all again.
Yeah, it's not worth it. The tire balls with the run flat system make it good enough to get through, finish the race. Can't tell a huge difference. And
yeah, no, I get it. Well, especially it's not like the course is even either. So you're like, oh yeah, like my left rear is 2 psi less than the
no.
It's rough, it's rocky or muddy or logs everywhere. Like you're just gonna ride.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and I guess that's the other thing too is you're running a taller tire. Beefier tire too, because there's, more tread. It's a bigger tire. You've got balls inside that's gonna help keep it inflated. Are you running a very low pressure in the tires too because you have the balls?
Yeah, it's definitely so. From what I remember when I raced motocross many years ago, and I did not run a run flat system. I think some guys do.
Some guys do in your higher classes, like mostly pro guys.
Yeah.
You know, and it all depends. I think a good amount of them do now, but some don't still.
Yeah. So I never ran that and ran higher pressure on motocross. We run, depending on the track, anywhere from like 2 to 3 pounds in the rear.
Yeah.
And like 5 to 6.5 pounds in the front.
Okay.
So just depends on the conditions, and
Right.
and that's with the tire brand that we run. I know some other people that run other brands run more or less pressure.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah. And because I mean, it's not like you're like our issue with motocross mostly is you run a low enough pressure. Well, now you got to worry about debeating.
Yeah.
You know, with the balls, you don't really have to worry about that issue either. It's
No,
just,
and we run dual bead locks on the rear, single bead lock on the front.
Right.
So
Yeah. So I mean, you're mainly just getting it for maximizing the grip. You know, getting that thing to flex for you.
yeah, it's all about traction and making the tire work, along with there is some consideration with not getting a puncture, but it's not as big of a consideration because of the tire balls.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. It's a lot of differences, obviously, but it's all for a reason, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and I also, Jess, I know I've seen stuff online. You've actually gone out to California before for Yamaha stuff, correct?
Utah.
Or was it in Utah?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought they always took you guys to California, but you've done like the Yamaha Champions deal. Mm-hmm. What was that like?
That was amazing.
That would be cool.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 years, trying to make it 3, but
Yeah.
maybe the third year will be
Hey,
this
maybe
year.
this is it. Yeah, yeah.
But no, they definitely treat us good. Flew us out there. The first year was in Tennessee.
First year was
Alabama?
Alabama, second year was
Second year was
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Okay.
So we've been to both of those for the Wall of Champions is what they call it.
Yeah.
And it was cool. They got the first year was at what was that place
The
called?
Barber Motorcycle Hall of Fame
Oh,
Museum.
okay.
It was
Yeah.
crazy.
That
Like,
that would be
super
cool.
cool, man.
Yeah.
every picture that we actually took together outside of the building is my lock screen on my phone.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
just all glass, and every room you walked in, you're just like,
So much
gosh.
history.
And then
Yeah.
the stairs going up, there was like hanging motorcycles and cars and just everything everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, you couldn't take it all in.
Oh, I bet.
And then the second year was at a aquarium.
Yep, the aquarium in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Okay.
That was a cool
Which
venue
was really
too.
yeah,
cool, too.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a little bit different change of scenery from the first year, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
it'd still be really cool to do. And obviously, it's just like I said, it's an honor to even be there, be invited to
Right.
go. Period. You know, there's very few people that get to do it every year.
Right. And I don't think that I'm anything special. And like my dad is a huge fan. He's like, oh, Jess, it's so cool. And
Yeah.
even Alex will remind me sometimes, he's like, there's so many people that look up to you. And I'm like, but I'm no different than someone else. Like anybody can do what I do.
Yeah,
And
it takes the
but-
effort that you put in.
yes. And the work, obviously there's so much that goes behind it, but I'm like,
Yeah.
you can do anything that you put your mind towards. And I'm no different than anybody else, but he's like, there's so many younger girls that look up to you, and which is cool. And it just like a realization of, okay, this is like really cool of what we get to
Yeah.
experience.
Absolutely.
And just like you said, them flying us out there and just the people that work for Yamaha had so much fun. And we got to tour the they took us to the Wall of Champions, and then that following week we went to Georgia.
That was the Wall of Champions was in December, and then I think it was 2 years ago. Between our Florida and Georgia race, they a couple of us went and toured the facility.
Oh, okay.
Out just outside of Atlanta,
Yep,
the
yep.
assembly
Yeah.
and manufacture plant.
Yeah.
That was
Well, yeah, I mean, Yamaha invited us to
Yeah.
go tour the plant, which was cool because you got to see the
That would
assembly
be
of
cool. Yeah.
like the side-by-sides, the four-wheelers, the jet skis. So, and there we did like an autograph signing and just the employees they have like their Christmas banquet. That's where the Wall of Champions is
Okay.
usually. And then the employees at the factory, they were just so excited to meet us all. And
That's so
that's when
cool.
I'm like, I mean, I don't think I'm that cool.
Well,
but
to them,
they were
that's
just
probably the
so
coolest thing.
excited.
Yeah, because it's every day they're seeing the same machine going by. Here's another YFZ going by on the assembly line, and then to meet one of the people that took that machine and won a pro championship, that would be cool.
Yeah. And we found out at the warehouse that they'll televise on the screens the results for each race.
Oh, really?
So they're like, yeah, we were watching you last race. I'm like, how? And
That's
they're
so
like, they
cool.
have it on the TVs here in the factory. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
That's sweet. Yeah, that is so cool.
So they just get into it, just like not being at the races, but they follow way more than what I was thinking.
Well, I've heard that in the past too. Like the people that work for Yamaha, they're just really cool people. It's not just a factory job, or even the people that are in the office. It's not just an office job. Like a lot of these people do ride, and there's a reason why they are working with Yamaha.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I was super impressed with the whole facility, but just the people there. Like you have expectations. Oh, it's a factory job. It's a line job, and it was very far from that. And like she said, even like the unique thing is these people build the machines right there on the line, so they assembled the quad that she won championships.
Right. Yeah,
on.
exactly.
So like
initially,
they
anyways.
built it. They assembled it in its original form. But that's what was like super cool and unique is they're assembling these things every day, and
and it
then
could
get to
have
see
been
it get put to use.
Right.
It could have been them just being in a different mindset because we were there, but they were happy and like joking around, and you could tell that like they took pride in their work, not just like he said an assembly line of bolting on parts. Like they were just happy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, and I mean it's just nice to know that these are the people, like you said, they're essentially in the factory building the machines. Every day they're doing the same thing. But if they are actually have some pride in their work, obviously it's going to go a long ways.
For sure.
And I guess that kind of brings another question too. With your program, you're getting I would assume a brand new YFZ at this point, especially you being the pro class. How much of that are you tearing down in the build process? Because I know we have to completely tear them down to the frame to have gussets added to the frames, have them powdered, of course, because you're already there.
Yep.
I wasn't sure.
So it's pretty similar to what we do for motocross, and we every year we buy a bike for her, and then shuffle it.
So are you getting the leftovers then?
I do. I have the 1 year leftover.
Okay.
So it becomes a race bike. The new bike becomes a race bike for her,
Yeah.
and then next year it's my race bike, and then we make it a practice bike for 2 years, and then so every year we sell the oldest one and buy and build a new one.
Yeah. So it's just a constant.
And it's not. We don't go to the extent of like gusseting the frames and stuff, but it pretty much gets torn down to the frame. I mean, we run the factory swing arms, factory frames. Don't modify the frames. And
factory frame too.
Yeah, factory.
Oh, you are? Okay.
We do run a factory.
Are you running
frame.
braces or anything?
Nope.
No
braces.
Okay.
So we use those parts. The brakes, master cylinder, brake lines, all that stays original.
Okay.
Bottom end's original, transmission's original, but we do run a different clutch.
Okay.
Different top end, get the head ported and stuff.
So you're not having to tear down the engine because you're doing all this stuff. You're basically popping the head off, sending it out to whoever does your porting.
Yep.
Which B&R is doing your stuff now?
It's a B&R piston, B&R ported head.
Okay.
Their cams.
Yeah, so I mean, you're just doing a top end and
makes
life a little easier.
Oh, yeah, definitely easier.
Yeah.
So.
And then on the clutch, are you doing a complete whole new clutch system?
Yeah, so that's one difference between both of ours. Like I run a Hinson, she runs a Recluse.
Okay.
But it's
auto clutch or just the torque drive?
She runs the auto clutch.
Okay.
It's one that's probably no one in motocross runs. It's called the Z Start Pro.
Okay. Yeah.
But it is an auto clutch, but it's everything from the basket throughout the entire clutch.
Okay. So. Yeah. I had to ask. Like I run the Recluse torque drive manual in my stuff, so it works. The Hinson works great too.
Yep.
It just depends on who you want to run.
Yeah.
Really.
For sure.
So and that's also like the frame thing. The only gusset we're adding on the YFZs is just for the rear linkage, just because there has been issues in the past with people ripping that linkage mount off the frame.
Yeah.
You probably don't have that issue on the cross country side of things.
No, we don't. When I raced motocross, I remember gusseting a couple of my frames when I did that, but not well, that was the learning curve when I got into the woods. I'm like, shouldn't I gusset this? I'm like, no, why?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, yeah.
Subframe.
Yeah, subframes.
supports.
I ran a Walsh subframe when I raced motocross, and that was a learning curve for me of going to the woods. And part of it was you don't necessarily need to. It doesn't take as much stress.
Okay.
We do still crack them and replace them throughout the year.
Yeah.
But the other difference was that they're lower. The aftermarket ones are lower, and that changes your riding style.
Right.
Being in the woods and just the way you ride the bike is a little bit different. So that was something as well that was a learning curve and a change and getting used to it and just making it more suitable for us.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah. And I mean, like you said, you are cracking them. And that's obviously the main reason why we replace them in the motocross world. And I know there's at least one company that is doing a stock height 6-point on the YFZs now. But I mean, are you getting... It's not like you're replacing a subframe every weekend.
No, it's like probably once a year.
No, so not a huge deal at that point.
No.
Yeah. And then obviously you said seats are a little bit different between your two machines.
Yep.
What is different there?
So we both used to run just a normal stock seat height with a Quad-Tech seat, and this last year she tried running basically the wean and cut seat.
Okay.
Made by
shape,
Quad-Tech, and there's some other companies that shave the whole thing down or just have the hump all the way in the back.
Yeah.
And she tried the wean and cut, we'll call it this year. And
so just the little little hump in the
just
center,
the hump in the center,
it is,
which is stock height, and it's shaved in front and behind it. And definitely took a little bit of getting used to. There was moments where she's like, I like it here, but I don't like it there. And
I kept switching back and forth. He's like, okay, Jess, you need to decide.
Yeah.
Like, are you running it or you're not? Because we're not going to go into the race and be like, okay, what seat are you running? He's like, you're going to stick to one for the year.
Yeah, we're not changing based upon conditions or track layout.
Right.
So that's something that we tried, and she felt was beneficial to her this year. And giving it a shot, and so far so good.
Yeah, I was gonna say clearly it's working so far.
Right.
So yeah.
Maybe I'm getting a little bit of Chad's speed.
Maybe that could be it. That could be it. That little hump doesn't bother you at all, though. No.
Even when, like, sometimes, because I'm used to the stock height of it, so sometimes you'll hit a kicker and it'll come up and hit my butt.
Yeah.
But it's not anything different than before. Just the carved out in front. I don't really sit behind the hump too much.
I wouldn't see why you would. Yeah.
Well, in some mud races. I mean, we haven't had any mud races this year, so...
Knock on wood.
Right. But, like, I naturally ride a little further back, so I figured... having that cut seat would keep me where my weight needed to be with my shocks, and then cornering, it just holds me so I'm not sliding back on the seat more. So
yeah, because I know a lot of people, especially in the motocross world, a lot of people are going to a shaved seat, and especially if you're shorter, especially I'd say like under 6 foot, a lot of people seem to like the shaved seat. So obviously that advantage I could see with you, and then if you are having that hump to kind of almost a reminder of like, stay a little forward. Don't don't go too far back, and yeah. And if it's working, it's working.
Right.
What? Don't change it.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, obviously, 2026, you're 3 rounds in. So far, so good. Because Alex, you've won all 3 now, correct?
I won the first 2.
You won the first 2. Okay.
I did lose and took a second.
Okay.
This last race in Alabama.
Okay.
But it was a good race.
Yeah.
I'm friends with the guy that beat me.
Okay.
He took second the first 2 rounds, and and he got the better of me this last race. But it was good. It was a good battle the whole race.
Well, next round will just be redemption.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So you both have won 2 rounds and not won 1.
Correct.
So.
Yep.
Plenty of season to go, though.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. But, yeah, I mean, and obviously it's going to be potentially 2 championship contending seasons.
That's the goal.
Or
That's the plan.
1 season, but possibly 2 championships this year. So.
Yeah.
Which would be cool. I mean, how many people can say... I mean, especially how many couples can say, we both won a championship this year.
Yeah. Not many.
Yeah. I don't know of any, to be honest with you, but
shoot, the pressure's on.
I know of one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It'd be cool. It'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, I would say that's a lot of bragging rights right there too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, and Jess, we'll start with you on this one. What's one of your most memorable racing moment you've had so far?
There's a lot of them.
I know. That's why it's hard.
Yeah. I mean, oh shoot, if I had to, I'm not going to pick one.
That's fine.
But so my first race was obviously memorable. My first win was at Ironman. My first race was at Ironman.
Okay.
I wrapped up the first championship at Ironman. So I feel like that track alone, I don't necessarily care for the track because it's, it sounds dumb, but it's more of like his style, which is faster and flowy. And I would say more of the motocross aspect of the way he rides. And I like more of the tracks like we just raced, the Alabama, which is tight and technical. I like more rocky terrain because it breaks up the competition and it actually gives you something that like you have to work towards.
It's
and
almost more skill over speed type deal.
Which he has more skill than I do, but he likes the more fast and flowy field sections, which is where I struggle, and that's a lot of Ironman. But I feel like that track alone is very memorable for me because I have a lot of accomplishments there. But I know that I can say Florida this year, I tend to do good at Florida. Years in past, I won it for several years in a row, and then last year Hannah won it. This year I got it back, so I was happy about that. So I mean, I think Florida track alone is memorable to me because I got 2 third amateur overalls there. And then this year was special because last year was the first race last year I got a win, and then after that was just very struggling year of just trying to continue to have fun and put races together. I had bad luck because we had a lot of mud races, so lappers got into the mix, and I was just a lot of times in the wrong place at the wrong time. And so last year I'm like, okay, we need to change some things up. We changed things throughout the winter and worked towards different things. This year, like you've said, has been a lot better for us. But I would say Florida alone is a memorable race because I told him, I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever going to win again because I won the first one and then there was 12 other rounds that I'm like just beat down and beat down and beat down. And then I was so happy because I worked so hard just on and off the bike this past winter to get myself where I am now. So Florida was, I mean, coming back from where I was at the first race was a push and like, okay, I can do this physically and mentally. And then Florida, I'm like, finally, like I'm back. I did it. It was, so there's been obviously a 2-hour long race. There's memorable moments in every single race. But if I had to pick a track, I would say Ironman. If I had to pick a specific moment, there's just too many because like you said, you do it for fun. I mean, we make a little bit of money at it, but you spend so much more than what you make. So if you're not having fun, it's not worth doing. And that's when last year I'm like, okay, if we're not going to have fun again, and that's one of the reasons he took a step back, and I told him it's totally up to him, but took a step back to go to Vet A because he's like, you know what, it's too much for me to compete at the level in XC2 and do what I need to do for you to compete. So that was a sacrifice he made. But like I said, I'm like, we just need to do certain things to have fun with it because if we're not having fun, it's not worth doing.
Exactly. And and I feel like you see a lot of people that end their careers essentially coming to the crossroads where even you were at, where it's like, okay, maybe it's time to step back to have more fun, but instead like, well, I can't win pro, or I can't do that well in pro-am, like I'm just done. Like, okay, well, maybe you didn't actually enjoy this sport as you said you did because, maybe you'd find a way to stay in it. But, but yeah, obviously it's really cool that you did do that. And, again, it's clearly working pretty good. So, but how about for you, Alex?
That's also a tough one.
It's a loaded question.
I'm glad you asked her first.
Yeah.
I think a little bit.
You got a couple minutes, anyways.
Gosh, most memorable race may have been I believe it was in 22 or 23 when I was racing Junior A. The year I was fighting for a championship. We had a mudder at the John Penton, and the cleanup sucks, but I do enjoy a good mud race.
I see where you're coming from on that.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun to do. It just sucks to after fact.
And I had a really good ride, had a lot of fun there, and was the top amateur that day. I think I was 10th overall.
Okay.
Like including the pro and pro-ams. And then one of my good friends who used to race, still does race, doesn't race nationals anymore, but helps us out in the pits with making those race decisions as far as bike setup and pit strategy, and helps us with some maintenance and bike prep at home and stuff. He was, I believe, second amateur or third amateur that day, but we were both on the amateur podium that day.
That's cool.
And, just cool moment, cool experience. That would probably be it.
Okay. I'd say that'd be a pretty good one anyways.
Yeah.
How about a racing idol though?
Ooh.
Do you have one?
Man, I do actually, and it's a moto guy.
Okay.
Back from when I was a goon racing a Banshee in motocross, Thomas Brown.
Okay.
He's just he was just always so chill and just having fun with it.
Yeah.
Could ride the bike phenomenal. I thought that he had. I know he didn't ever win a championship, and Chad and Joel won a lot of races. But I just felt like he had like the most control and skills, like natural skills on the bike. I mean, he could just those couple of times in videos that you saw of him like riding at Trey Canards and some of those supercross tracks.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Just super talented and just a happy-go-lucky guy. Seemed like, I mean, not that I know him personally, never really met him. But just
You pretty much, I mean, that's pretty much how Thomas is. I mean, he's having a good time most of the time. You know, obviously, you're always going to have those race moments and come off the track where you may not be so happy, but Thomas is usually a pretty chill dude.
Yeah. So I would say he was the guy that I looked up to.
Okay.
Trying to get better. So
yeah. And that's just it too, is he was always really fast. He was always right there. I mean, how many years was he the number 3 guy?
Yeah.
It's just, you know, Joel and Chad always just had a little bit something more.
Yep.
So, but how about you, Jess? Do you have one?
Yeah, I mean, mine's easy.
Okay.
I don't have as many people to choose from as he does. Because, like, the motocross side, I mean, I was supporting him, but not in it. But when I started racing, I mean, Tracy Pickens is a 12-time champ, and she was racing, and just being able to say that I raced against her, with her, learned from her, you know, on and off the track, she is always so happy, and, you know, no matter what she did, like, at least when I was racing against her, I know in years past she was maybe a little more spiteful, but no, I mean, she's just, Alex will tell me sometimes, put your Tracy face on, because she's just always smiling. Everybody likes her, and, you know, she's so willing to help, and being out there for 2 hours, like, it's just as mentally rough as it is physically.
I could imagine, yeah.
So having her like cheering you on the side of the track, and there's pictures of her just like yelling and screaming, and you could just see her like pointing, and you know, she's still so into it, and
That's
she's
so
definitely
cool.
an idol of mine.
Yeah, and she's had a phenomenal career too. I mean, she's been doing this for a long time. Like you said, 12-time champ.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you got to be doing this for quite a while to get to that point, period.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of the work that she's done with companies and stuff like that too, to help advance products and machines, like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of those riders that was always a, you know, her and Bill Balance would probably be the other GNCC person that you always read about in the magazines.
Yeah.
You know, it's that's how most people know who they are.
Yeah.
It's from Dirt Wheels or whatever magazine you happen to watch or read at some point. And yeah, that would be really cool. You know, especially if she's cheering you on. Like,
I know.
apparently there's something going on there. So, but how about outside of racing? You know, you both have jobs. You know, there is the daily life. It's not like you can, you know, like you said, you can make some money doing this, but it takes a lot more to do it.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have anything that you like to do outside of racing?
Yeah. I would say the one thing that we used to do more of, when we don't too much anymore because of time, but just boating. We have a boat, and I don't know. We go back and forth a little bit of like, oh, we don't use it too much. We sell it, but it's like, oh, it's not like it doesn't cost anything to keep it.
Right.
And we do use it a little bit throughout the year. So
Yeah.
hopefully we can use it a little bit more this year and enjoy it some more. But it's it used to be her favorite thing to do before she got into racing. And now racing kind of trumps that. It's a different kind of fun. It's like a relaxing fun.
Yeah, it's just a nice leisure. And especially now I could see, that being the leisure thing to get your mind off of racing a little bit too.
Yep.
Just actually be able, because as much fun as racing can be, it's not relaxing by any means.
No.
So it's something you can do and actually relax doing it.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Unless you're out there racing every boat you see too. I don't know.
Well,
That makes it fun. But
Racing every pontoon you pass.
Yeah.
But and then obviously, Jess, you said you grew up in a family that rode. Do they still ride dirt bikes or anything?
my younger brother rides dirt bikes a little bit, but not really.
Okay, so you're the racer in the family now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they all have toys,
Yeah.
but nobody races competitively, but they
Yeah.
all come and support me.
Well, that's
So,
good too.
Yeah,
There you go. That's really cool. Even though you're on a quad, they still support you.
they do.
Yeah.
What's actually funny, my younger brother just Snapchatted me yesterday, I think.
It was yesterday.
He was driving. He had new neighbors that moved in across the street.
Okay.
And he's like, I'm driving past their house and look what they have on their front porch. I don't know. It wasn't a goose, but it was some type of like statue
or
out
something.
front. He zooms in. It was one of my championship shirts
No
On-
way.
Yeah.
Wow.
on their front porch. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, you got to like meet them and
Yeah.
see how they got my shirt.
Yeah.
But I mean, a little town in Rittman, Ohio
That's
has one of my
crazy. Yeah.
championship shirts. He's like,
Right.
I've never met him yet, but I'm going to go and introduce myself.
Exactly.
That's my sister.
Right? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's not every day.
No.
So,
And I just throw those shirts out on the podium.
okay.
So they had to be at one of the
Yeah,
GNCCs.
that's wild.
Yeah.
And I mean,
It's
obviously, you two may not realize this because you've been here pretty much your whole lives, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like somebody that did not grow up in this area, Ohio is like motorsports mecca of the country.
Yeah.
Like if it doesn't matter what you're into, if you're into any sort of racing at all, you're gonna find it here.
Yeah.
And there's so much. There's not only is there so much of it, but there's so much more of it. Even this, motocross, cross country racing, any form of motorsports. I mean, you can throw a stone and probably hit some sort of racetrack around here.
Yeah.
It's
for
crazy.
sure.
So I mean, it could be that they're into the stuff too, and you might have just found yourself a new friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no other sports or hobbies that you're participating in though?
Not really.
No, just
No. With the level that we race at, it almost just
well, especially when you both are
consumes us.
doing it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I do what I can for mechanical wise on at least our practice bikes. He does
Yeah.
the national bikes, but it's just it takes up time, all of it almost.
Yeah.
That's why I said you have to have fun doing it, or else it's not worth doing because it's literally our life.
Exactly. This is your leisure sport or leisure activity at this point.
Yeah.
It's how you get away from work, really. So, and obviously, you're a 2-person operation. Alex, you're doing the building and the prepping and stuff like that. It's not like you're running some big team operation or anything like that where you've got someone like, take care of them for me.
Yes and no. That was part of the change coming into this year that we decided to make things a little bit easier on us. We do have someone prepping her race bike this year.
That helps.
Yeah, it does. It was a little bit of, do we want to? Do we not want to? I take a lot of pride in doing it, and
He's
also
very particular.
want to do it because I'm very particular. Like there's been some times in the past where my one good friend, if we're in a pinch, he'll come help me prep race bikes, and I'll be like, well, I'm doing hers, you can do mine.
Yeah.
And then mid race, I'm like, what was that? I wonder if he touched this bolt. Like, I'm just super particular about that
Yeah,
stuff.
I was gonna say I don't think I could let anybody work on my stuff.
It's tough, but the guy we have, Mark Notman, prepping her bike this year.
Okay.
And it's I trust Mark big time for sure.
I suppose he's got a little bit of extra time right now too himself.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. He's got a little bit of time, and it was even just a matter of, okay, well, let's try this and see if it works. Like, just if it makes sense for us for still having to wash it, drop it off, pick it up, pay him to do it, and whatnot. And it's early on in the year, but it's working well for us, and I think taking some time and some pressure off of us to be able to focus on what we need to do. And so yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and it's less time for you to be spending working on the stuff yourself, because I mean, washing is a chore in itself.
It is,
especially if you are a picky person.
Yeah,
you're half disassembling the bike before it even goes inside to be worked on.
Yeah,
it's
I
don't think, well, knowing from experience and working on other people's stuff, most people don't understand that.
No, it takes time to wash them, and we still do a lot. I mean, we still do all of our tires. Between our practice bikes and my race bikes, it's still 3 bikes that I'm checking, working on, prepping, maintaining. So at least having someone else take care of one bike does take off of in my opinion, the most important bike. The
pro bike
takes some pressure and some stress and save some time. So
exactly. I can see that. And, this is the other thing I was going to bring up to you, Alex, and I kind of spaced it. But, going back to being so much racing around here, you growing up in the motocross scene, and that's actually how I know you, is we just have a lot of mutual people.
Yeah.
I mean, even just in this area where we are, especially back when you were racing motocross, there's so many people there.
Yeah, I've drawn the short stick of every local I've ever been to for my life. You race pro class at a local, and you have Josh Uberman, Tim Detling, some of those guys show up, and or whoever Mark's working on their bike at the time. Mark
exactly,
Baldwin, they're in the area and they're going to go race a local.
Yeah.
And then in the wood side of things, you have Walker Fowler, Cole Richardson, Josh Merritt, Johnny Gallagher when he raced, Kevin Yoho, and it's like, shoot, I'm racing pro class at a local. Top 5's a great day.
Exactly.
So it's the talent is super deep in this area on both aspects, the motocross side and the wood side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you think about it. I'm sure you went to a good amount of OIR events back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, just hearing of all the people that would show up to that track on a random Saturday or whatever. Yeah.
Unreal.
It's crazy.
It's also super cool and unique, and as much as it sucks racing against those guys because they're so good, but it's also really cool, and you'll learn a lot. You get to talk to them on a little bit more of a personal level and
exactly.
learn from them, experience them. It's a really unique and cool area to be at.
Yeah. And also, like Jess, with you saying that, you're just a person, these people are all just people too.
Yeah.
It's you talk to these pro, and I've never talked to, I guess Cole Richardson is the only pro GNCC guy I've ever talked to, but you talk to these pros too, as long as you're not right before an event.
Yeah.
They're cool. They're just people. They're willing to talk to you and, share contact information and all sorts of different things. It's just, I mean, even when I first met Cole at a local race, we both were MotoWaz shock people. So it was I think we spent probably 10, 15 minutes just talking about MotoWaz shocks. Just whatever. You never know what you have in common with some of these people.
Yeah.
But, so where's this go next?
That's a year-to-year basis.
Yeah.
It really is. We've been asked that numerous times of how much longer are you doing this? Are you ever going to have kids?
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd say a race-to-race basis, but it's more so a year-to-year basis.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously you both have said it numerous times now. You're still having fun with it. So it's not like you're just nickel and diming yourselves to maybe get one more championship.
No.
Third championship or not, would you want to continue racing the WXC class?
Yeah.
And I think that's the big, like I said, you both have said that you're having fun with it. That is the main thing to continue on.
Yeah.
Once you're not having fun with it, then it's the conversation you have with each other, have with yourselves, like, what the hell are we doing?
Right.
So,
and that's kind of where we were, towards the end of last year. Not towards the end, mid last year. We just she was battling some injuries, some lingering injuries, and a lot of workload.
Yeah.
A lot of time and effort and money, and it's like, all right, we got to do something different because this is like we're not having as much fun as what we used to.
Right.
And
right.
yeah, just that was our priority over winter, and just change our focus, change some things, figure out what works and what doesn't work to have more fun with it. And we're definitely, even all winter, like excluding the season started, we've had a lot more fun than what we've had in the last couple of years.
Yeah, yeah.
Doing a good job at it, and hopefully keep going.
Exactly. And so obviously, I'm not sure how this would really work, Jess, but so you're a pro WXC pro women's class right now. What, like, let's say you decide I want to hop into some of these other co-ed classes. What are you still eligible? Like, could you run XC2?
Yeah, I sure could.
Okay. Well, obviously it's up to you if you'd want to or not. I just didn't know if you'd be eligible to race in that class, being that you are a pro rider now.
Yeah, I can move up to any of the A classes as well. I don't believe I could ride the B classes.
No, she would have to race.
I would have to race an A class or
XC2. She would qualify for Vet A now.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, she could race Junior A, College A, XC2. So yeah, she could do any of that.
But that entails riding in the afternoon, which I do 4 laps.
You're napping by that time. I get it.
No, he gets off the track and he's like, "Oh, Jess, just give me a minute. I'm tired." I'm like, "Sweetheart, I race 2 hours and then I run around the track and help you and I pit you and then I'm cleaning up our stuff. We're loading the truck and trailer and we're getting out of here." I'm like, my adrenaline's been going since 10:30 this morning before like when I'm on the line.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely, it gets you going. And like I race for 4 to 5 laps, 2 hours long, and then his first lap is my last lap.
Oh.
So they go right out on the track that we raced on. So if it's muddy, like the ruts are deep, or all of the kickers and like everything that I had to do for 4 laps, and just the track deteriorating after, like he said, 250 quads being out there, and then they have an additional 150 to 200-ish in the afternoon.
Okay.
And they go out there and race for 4 laps after my 4th lap, and I'm tired after my 4th. And he's like, "Oh, my first lap was fantastic." I'm like, "You should have done my first lap because that was fantastic. My last lap was terrible."
Yeah. And so, I mean, you don't even get to watch the starts then when he takes off.
I do.
She does.
Oh, you do? Okay.
There's like a hour in between for them to sweep the track. It's tight, but yeah, like she said, during her race, which is from like 11 to 1.
Okay.
She's out on the track, and then I'm normally on a pedal bike jumping from numerous spots on the track, pitting. I'm sweating and exhausted by the time my race starts. And
10 to 12 miles long.
Right.
So having the e-bike to jump from spot to spot.
You need to.
Yeah. So we do that to try to pit strategy and check some things out, and then there is like an hour between when her race is supposed to end and when ours starts. By that, they do the podiums, sweep the track, and then I go and see her real quick, go back to the trailer, get dressed, changed, get up to the line, and then after she gets hopefully normally off the podium or whatever, she comes to the start. But it's not like she goes back to change or anything.
I usually make it when they're doing like the national anthem or just before. So I can see him, tell a couple other people good luck, and then they take off.
Yeah. Well,
and then she chases me around and pits for me for
exactly.
2 hours, so.
After racing for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Well, so I mean, safe to say your cardio is probably pretty good at this point.
Yeah,
it's up there.
It's like it'd be like trying to race motos all day or practice motos all day, and then I really could just row for the next 3 hours.
Yeah, it's funny because even after this last race, it was like humid, hot, and after she got done and came off the track, I'm like, all right, well, I'm going back to the trailer to go change and get dressed. I hopped in the shower and took a cold shower. I was sweaty. I was like, I just need to cool off.
Need to do something. Yeah.
Took a quick cold shower and then got dressed to go race.
Yeah.
Well, what's cool that like we've tried to do better at is for the whole 2 hours, you can look at your lap time per lap, and we can keep it within a minute of each lap. So for the whole duration of the 2 hours, you can pretty much have a consistent lap time, so you're not falling off.
Which is really impressive when you're talking 2 hours at, a long, because you're 4 or 5 laps, you said?
Yeah,
Depending on the speed, but
So
yeah.
you got
4 or 5
long-ass,
laps.
long lap times. And if you're consistent to 1 minute
Yeah.
for that whole time, like
So when you said, "Oh, your
that's-
cardio is good,"
yeah.
it almost has to be. And
Yeah.
how he touched on at the beginning of just trying to figure out like pacing and your body language and everything. Like it really makes a difference because racing moto, you go out there for 20 minutes and you go as hard as you can for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, if you go as hard as you can the first lap, you ain't
you're
making
done.
it the last lap.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have to pace yourself, which also pushing yourself for the
Mm-hmm.
whole 2 hours. But you have to remember, like you're out there for 2 hours.
Right. You have to pull back and just keep a nice, consistent, steady pace
Yeah.
to finish. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a combination of that and then finding and seeing those moments of like full effort, best effort,
Yeah.
laying down a sprint lap or a sprint couple of miles and then like, all right, tone it back just a notch to like stay safe, stay smart, don't make any mistakes, conserve a little bit of energy. And it's that balance. And like she said, the goal, I mean, is consistent or laps getting better. But usually amongst 4 laps, like the spread from lap 1 to lap 4 is a minute or less than a minute from the best lap to the worst lap.
Yeah.
So
Which that's
when
pretty
you're running
crazy.
25, 30-minute lap times, it's pretty good.
That's wild. And I guess that's something too. Did that take you a while to kind of figure that out? Okay.
Yeah.
long time of just the terrain, the bike setup, the fitness level. It's
The way you train compared
the
to
way you train.
motocross is way different.
All of it.
I could imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess it also helps that you both, you're racing against the same people all year long. Mm-hmm. So at least you have an idea of, especially for these long duration races, you have an idea of what the, for you, the other girls are like. And like, shoot, this person's going to come on real strong at the end. I always got to keep a little bit in the tank in case she comes at me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it's definitely figuring out your racecraft sounds very important with this.
Yeah. Or heart rate is huge.
Yeah.
And figuring that out, like you said, like, did we have to learn that? Did we have to work on that? Because when I wore a heart rate monitor, I haven't the past couple years, but when I was in women's amateur, there was a time where like an hour straight, my heart rate was in like the 190s.
Oh, wow.
And my peak was 210.
A
like
little higher,
dying.
Yeah.
And we're like, holy crap, I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah,
And so it's like, okay, learning of how to train to get a consistent heart rate because there's so many instances out there where your heart rate spikes and then it drops back down and is steady and then spikes again. So just trying to train for that and learning over the years of, okay, let's not die today.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, rule number 1, don't die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Do you think you'd ever see yourself moving into XC2 or even XC1 ranking? No, just keep running WXC and
Yeah, probably until I'm done. Only, like I said, I don't have a desire to race in the afternoon because the track conditions is so much
brutal.
worse.
Yeah,
And then the people that race the afternoon, I would say is tougher, like physically. And I should, but I'm not super aggressive on the bike and I don't like coming in contact with other riders because I ended up breaking my neck at one point.
Oh, yeah, not good.
Yeah. Coming in contact with a 4x4.
Oh.
So I just don't like hitting other quads
Yeah.
because it's so unpredictable in my aspect of riding. Like other people can bang into people and know what the quad's going to do or control it.
Yeah.
I don't like to. I don't like to learn that because I don't like hitting other people.
Oh, fair enough.
And so in the afternoon, they're just a lot more aggressive and I don't have a desire. I mean, maybe, but in the same breath, I can just as much enjoy it in the morning as
There you go.
in the afternoon.
And I guess that's another thing too is, the 4x4s are going out there and correct me if I'm wrong, but they are brutal on the course too.
Yeah.
As far as tearing stuff up.
Yes.
So that's not doing anybody any favors. And obviously they're cool to have and it's fun to watch them, but
Yeah.
they're
They're big machines.
Yeah.
And they tear it up for sure. But
what about you, Alex? Do you see yourself, bouncing back up at some point?
I don't know. It was funny. In XC2, we pick our basically our gate pick, I'll call it, after the morning race starts and it goes by points. And you basically have a little marker to stick in the ground as you pick.
Yeah.
And I was undecided if I was going to move back or run XC2 pretty much up until like the week before round 1. And a friend of mine his dad made me like a marker to stick in the ground. And first round he's like, oh, I got something for you, all excited. I'm like, oh no. I was like, I appreciate it, but I'm not running XC2 this year. And it was all good, but I was like, I don't know, like maybe later this year, maybe next year, maybe never. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll take it race by race, year by year, and right now, at this moment, I'm going to stay in Vet A throughout the year. The goal is to win a championship and hopefully win it early, and then
you can do whatever you
maybe
want.
I'll move up or maybe I'll stay. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's moments where I would like to go race a morning class, like a non-points class, just to go have fun, but I also, it's hard because then I can't pick her and watch her and help her, and vice versa. Like during locals, she'll race against some guys in the area that race in the A classes in the afternoon or XC2, and I would like to say, based off of how locals go, like, yeah, I think you'd be here in the top A classes or in XC2.
Yeah.
Sure, the tracks are different, but she could do it. But the difference is, okay, well, I race in the afternoon, and then like we pit each other, so then who's going to pit us?
Right, yeah, you got to find another
it's
person.
It's a logistical problem as well.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I'm stuck with a rougher track.
Yeah. Well, and that's, we're all getting older, but it seems like in the recent years too, like age isn't really going to hold you back anymore.
I know. I can't use that excuse.
Right. Like you've got all these older professional athletes now that are still killing it. Look at Tomac.
I know.
And you brought him up earlier, but Johnny Gallagher.
See,
look how long of a career he had.
Yeah.
Like, damn it, dude. Like,
yeah. I know.
And he can still hop on a quad.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
That's what killed me over winter. We had an opportunity and spent a little bit of time with Johnny and Chad Weenan, and I was like back and forth, and Chad didn't call me fat, but basically calling me fat and overweight. I need to lose some weight for my size. I'm like, oh, thanks. That's why I suck.
Why don't you bring up Chad's early years once? How about that?
And no, it was super cool. Those guys are awesome, and spent some time with them and learned some stuff. And it was like, these guys rip still. I mean, I get Chad just retired, but he raced at that elite level.
He retired at the national level, but he's still riding, and he just did a
stupid good.
Yeah, he just did a race in, I think it was in Argentina. It's like he's still doing stuff. He's still training. He's
Oh yeah.
But
and there's a lot of guys in the woods that are my age, same age, that race XC1, close to my age, and I'm like, man, they're animals.
Yeah,
they're super talented, and apparently age doesn't make too much of a difference.
No, I think at this point, it's more so like, how much are you willing to train, and how much do you enjoy food? That's what I claim. I like food too much.
I know. I've always ate like a fat kid.
Oh, I still do.
Yeah, that was the biggest change for me. I'm just trying to lean out and cut a little bit of weight. Of like just. It's not so much what I eat, but portion control. Is a big problem of mine. So
well, and then like I've got the dad tax too, so it's like I'll eat my food, and then other plates start coming over too. Like I can't say no.
I know.
Like,
I can't waste it.
Yeah. Like I'm still spending this money. I'm gonna eat it. Someone's gonna eat it.
Yep.
But obviously with all this, we'll see if there's ever any class changes or anything like that. And I mean, obviously you both are pretty involved with this sport and things like that. Have you ever thought about, and especially with you, Jess, and having all these younger riders looking up to you, have you ever thought about yourself putting on like riding clinics or anything like that?
We've talked about it in the past, but there are several camps that I do participate in. Okay. And Blue Crew, Yamaha puts that one on.
Yep.
We do one with Adam McGill, and there was one in Tennessee with Hunter Hart I did a couple years ago. Yeah. So I do several camps. Putting one on ourselves, I feel like we could definitely do it, but it's just like finding the place to do it, advertising to do it. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I was saying at the beginning, that like learning different things from different riders. So when I started teaching the camps very early in my career as well, and there were times where like I was also learning as I'm teaching, because it sounds funny, but like we partner up. And there was one time I was with Walker Fowler, and he was saying, yeah, I keep my hand on the brake and the clutch at all, like a finger on at all times. And I'm like, well, that's probably great. And if you can do that, that's the better option. And I have learned that, yes, you do need to do that. But in the earlier stages of riding, I'm like, I physically can't.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, why can't you? And I said, well, because my hands are smaller, and for one, I can't reach that and then control the machine with not all of my fingers being out at the same time. He's like, I never thought about that. Well, I guess kids, like, maybe you don't do this.
Yeah, and that's just it too, especially as younger kids that, you see them struggle to grab the levers either way. Like, it's going to be hard to preach that when they can't even reach them.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
He goes, okay, well, maybe if your hands are smaller or you're a female, you don't have to keep a finger on at all times.
And with those clinics, did you see, like with you participating in them, did you see an uptick in like female riders participating?
Yeah, I think just more involvement with like having a female instructor encourages females to like sign up for the courses or the clinics, because I'm not saying they're not comfortable around like all male leaders, but just having a female in there as a teacher as well makes them a little bit more apt to like asking questions and just more comfortable, because I can relate as a female to a female rider, because again, like our bodies are just different, our sizes are different, and our weight distribution is different. So like something that works for him, well, he can teach it, but if I can't physically do that, it doesn't apply to me.
Yeah, and especially at the younger ages too, you're gonna find a girl that's gonna be more comfortable talking to you. Yeah. Compared to you, Alex. Absolutely. And same thing with a little boy. A little boy is probably not going to talk to you at all, where they'll probably talk your ear off. Yeah.
We are leaders. Like the one with Adam McGill, we'll teach together in the same little group, and there's times where like some of the kids were XC2 riders or like in the A classes, and I'm telling Alex, I'm like, how am I supposed to teach him how to ride when he's probably faster than me? So it does help having both experience levels and having the female and the male, because like a young kid, they're like, oh, I'm cooler than she is, and that's a girl, like she can't teach me anything. So it definitely does help, and I do think that, like you said, it just makes the girls more comfortable and more prone to asking the questions, or just being a little more comfortable and performing and just everything out there.
Yeah, and you doing that I think is really cool too, because like I think you and so many other women, like Tracy too, have shown that women can do just as good in these sports as the men can. And so I mean, it's just, what is stopping more women from entering into this stuff? Any form of motorsport really. It seems like it's getting bigger and bigger, but how does it keep going? How do at what point do we need to add more women's classes, because there's more women involved, and things like that. So hopefully you continue to do that, of course. Yeah. But it is cool that you are doing that, and hopefully it keeps growing for you, and maybe it gets to the point where you two put on your own clinic, because there's a need for it. Yeah. Even if it's a local Ohio thing or whatever. Yeah. You have to find a place to do it, of course.
Yeah, that's the biggest hurdle. And she won't admit it because she's humble about herself, but like sure, I'm part of it, but I guess you could say a little bit of a different perspective. I feel like, I think all of the women's classes, even the girls' classes, have grown pretty much since she started racing, which isn't super long, but over the course of 5-6 years or so. And it's really cool and unique. Like there's a girl that she was instructing at one of the camps, I think it was 3 years ago, and now she races against her and battles for positions and podiums and stuff for her. So it's like, that's maybe not in her perspective, but like from my perspective, cool and unique that she did that. She helped coach her, teach her, whether she learned something from her or not, but like still had an aspect. And now look at the progression that girl has made and the level she's at. Right. And even like last week, when between Florida and Alabama, we we stayed at the track to wash and prep bikes there for a couple days, and there's a younger girl that races the youth class that she normally bikes the youth track with.
Okay.
And there's some other kids riding bikes there, their practice bikes, and they didn't have a practice bike. So Jess was like, hey, you want to ride my practice bike? Like,
Yeah.
asked her parents first before bringing it up to her.
Yeah, exactly.
And she was just like super excited, like, I'm allowed to ride your practice bike? I'm like, yeah, go, like, trust me, it ain't going to hurt it.
Right,
just
right.
Go have fun. And it's just really cool and unique to see, like, the influence that she has on some of these younger girls. And
which is good.
Like,
it's really good.
Like she said before, she doesn't think she's anything special, but you don't realize and recognize necessarily how people look up to you and what they think of you when you're in that spotlight. And it's cool.
Yeah. You know, and it's kind of like the girl that you did hopefully help teach something to, who is now battling with you. Like, I'm sure you're happy for her, but at the same time, like, quit being a pain in my butt. You know?
Why did I teach you
Yeah,
that?
exactly. God damn it. But how about what do you want to see in the future of not just GNCC, but the future of ATV racing as a whole?
I just want to see it keep growing. And I hear a lot of people, and I know we've only been in it for X amount of years, but a lot of people have said, like, oh, the support has gone way down and, like, people aren't doing it as much. But I feel like it's almost starting to grow a little bit. Maybe not with, like, factory support.
Right.
But it's almost with anything, like, you get out of it what you put into it. And I would just like to see it continuing to grow as in any sport would, but it's not so much about winning to me, like how I said, like, I was super happy in Florida about finally winning another race, but it's always, last year really taught me that it isn't always about winning, and if I'm focused on winning, then I'm not gonna have fun because I'm working too hard at one goal. And I just want to see I've experienced throughout the years just small little wins, and like how he was saying, helping the girls out and just, I don't know, being more than just someone that they look up to on the podium, but just being a person in the sport that continues to grow it.
Yeah. And
I don't know how to put it into words, but like, not so much of just like the racing point of it, but the whole point of just being there and being a good example and being in the sport without racing in the sport.
Yeah, and I think the other thing with it too is, and I'm sure you've noticed this as well, we're all trying to get partners or brands to partner up with us. And especially in the recent years, how that works has really changed. So I'm sure, like with you saying that you actually have to put effort into it. It's putting effort in more than just conditioning your body for riding and conditioning and making sure your bike machine is ready, but you also need to put more effort in on working with these brands and doing stuff with them, because a lot of it is media nowadays. If you want, and I think we all are trying to get that, doesn't matter if it's GNCC, TT, motocross, like, how do we get that next brand involved? And it's not just sending your resume out and hoping for the best and telling them, like, oh, I'll tag you in my Instagram post come Monday. It's actually doing things for them and getting out there in front of a camera, talking about this brand and giving them their one-on-one spotlight post.
Yeah, recognition.
And if you're getting out there, and obviously you're getting out there, you're doing these clinics, you're doing different things like that too. If these companies are seeing that, okay, now how do we get our brand involved with that so we can get these new riders involved with our company? So it takes a lot of effort, but it takes a lot more effort than I think most people realize. Right.
Well, like how you touched on, it's not always how you perform, but like last year, I didn't win the championship. Right. I wasn't on the podium every race, but I feel like this year is significantly different in support compared to last year. And I'm like, that's weird to me because I didn't win a championship. So you think that people wouldn't be as prone to giving me things or wanting to support me because I didn't perform as good as I have in years past. But just like he was saying, flying out to Utah with Yamaha. And I'm like, that is freaking sweet.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean, like being involved in the sport without actually being a racer. Because if you touched on just supporting the brands, like that's what they want, and giving you those cool experiences, like that's all a part of the racing. It's not just going to the track and racing your four-wheeler. It's being able to go to those things that Yamaha puts on, or to the camps, and doing it above and beyond things that you don't get paid for, just to help the companies that support you. Like we flew out to the SEMA show.
Oh yeah.
And we helped our tire brand GBC. We didn't do a whole lot, but we helped them. Like they're at the booth and tear down the booth and everything, and it's like we didn't get paid for that. We didn't want to get paid for it. We didn't want recognition for it. But just
but that brand remembers you.
Just doing something above and beyond the next person, and not wanting anything for it. Just doing it simply because you want to.
Right.
Going to Arizona too. Yeah, she went out had an opportunity to go out to Arizona for flying WPS for an event, and it's just those little things of, I think, being humble and being appreciative, and also representing that brand like above and beyond, and not just tagging them every now and then or with tagging all 10, 15, 20 sponsors.
That is the most
one
annoying thing ever.
Like, being able to single out and highlight that brand, that company, that person that helps you out a little bit.
Yep.
And not just doing it once, but whether that be on social media, at national events, at local events. I mean, wearing brand stuff, just walking around your hometown, because you don't, like, people still ride four-wheelers.
Exactly.
We ran into someone at Chipotle a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
He had on a Yamaha hoodie.
You're 2 hours
just
from home.
Starts a conversation. Oh, yeah. And then we start talking about the GNCCs.
Pulled in a Sprinter van wearing a Yamaha hoodie, because it's like, you ride? Yeah, like, yeah, we ride. And he's like, oh, what do you race? What do you ride? You race? Like, just got to talking to the guy, and he's like, oh yeah, like, where are you from? Because it was like 2 hours from home.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And like, oh yeah, we live up in this direction. And he's like, oh yeah, I used to ride with Brian Wolf. I was like, really? I live like 5 minutes from him. Like, me and his kid work out together all the time now.
Yeah.
Like, just small world, and just
it is
being a good representative.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and like, I don't leave. I'd say 98% of the time I'm always wearing something racing related, like especially the fly casual shirts.
Yeah.
I've never found another shirt that fits as nicely as a fly shirt.
It's funny. I have the same shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Just what's that?
I have the same shorts.
Yeah. Like their shorts are so comfortable.
I know.
And
I know.
I don't know. Like I'm 6 feet tall, and apparently all of my height's in my torso. So like any basic shirt, even my Four-Wheel Frenzy shirts I had made last year, you wash them once, and now they're crop tops. Where like the fly shirts are longer, and I don't get it. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna keep. And I've been working with fly for a long time too, and you know, it's just like all these different brands, and wearing, just being out wearing the products, and you're always kind of promoting
all the time.
You know,
all the time.
Obviously, you both are wearing Yamaha jackets. Like, and you never know when someone's gonna come up to you like that. Like
like my brother's neighbor.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Where did they come from?
Right. Yeah. Like I got approached. We were at Indianapolis Supercross in 2023, and this was the team that I work for, 4130 Motorsports. This was in our inaugural year, and we had Max Lindquist and Jade Launderville, and I was wearing a 4130 hoodie, and Indianapolis Supercross walking the track, and someone like, is that Max Lindquist's team? Yeah. Like, who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Like,
wild.
You never know when someone's going to spot. And well, obviously Ohio's better chance of anything, but you never know when someone's going to spot something and spark up a conversation with you. And in a world like that is marketing as well.
Oh, for sure.
You know, like who knows, like if you're wearing, a partner's apparel or whatever, someone talks to you about it, you may have just got them a new customer.
Yeah.
You never know.
You don't know.
And I think that's the big thing too, is just for our sport as a whole to grow. You know, we're not even talking about the individual segments, but the sport as a whole.
Yep. Like
we all need to work together. And like I know I kind of stirred the pot a little bit last year with a reel on TikTok where, you know, Bryce Ford was saying the GNCC was boring, but like at the end of the day, we are all doing the same thing. We're all on the same kind of machine. And when you look at the large spectrum of things, we're a little sliver in this. So it's like if we're, it's just like us in dirt bikes too. If we're pitting ourselves against each other, everyone's losing.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So, but Alex, how about yourself? Like, what do you want to see going forward?
I think like my big thing for really ever since I was a local C-class rider, like I just wanted to make a impact and a difference at the track, like on the track, the way that I ride, the way that I uphold myself, the way that I interact with people off the track, like my racecraft of how I race people, like being clean yet aggressive and not cleaning people out or things like that. Like that has always been my thing, and just to be like a good role model in the sport, and that's still my goal, just to be impactful that way, and kind of along what she said, like not needing to win. Sure, I raced 2 years in XC2 and I stepped down to Vet A, and it wasn't because of results. Like, yes, I wanted more out of myself, but there was times when I was battling for a 12th and I felt really good about my ride, and you come off and you're fist bumping each other. Hey man, that was awesome. Good ride. And I still, not racing against those kids in XC2, like I still come up to them after the track. I'm like, hey, how'd you do? Like, excited for them because I've built that relationship, and I want them to excel, whether they were beating me or not beating me or whatever. Like, there's a lot of good people in the sport, and I want to be that person to be positive about all of it, being happy to be there at the track, and just to, because if someone's down and negative about it, like that hurts the sport, or hurts that's brands, not helping anything. The companies, it steers away other people that maybe are just getting involved. So for me, that's the big part.
No, I get it, and it's really good. And I think it all just stems back to you need to have fun.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this if you're not having fun? Because whether you're a pro rider or an amateur rider, this is all just a hobby.
It is.
That's what we say. It's an expensive hobby.
Yeah. I mean, it is an expensive hobby. It's any form of racing is just an expensive hobby. It's unfortunately, but some people can make a living at it. Some people can't.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're all doing this. We at least all started doing this for the same reason.
Yeah. For sure.
We rode a four-wheeler, whether it was on a track or in the field or in the backyard, whatever. You rode one, and it was fun, and it kind of consumes your life.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good addiction to have.
Exactly. So, and I guess this is probably going to be a little easier for the both of you because you have done riding clinics and stuff like that. But let's say you met somebody that's just getting into this, and they say, I want to start racing ATVs. What's some advice that you have for them?
Some advice that I've given to younger girls, like, don't give up, because I know I touched on it, it's just as much mental as it is physical. So if you're trying to just get started in the GNCCs, like, it's hard in every aspect. So don't be so hard on yourself, but push yourself to that limit, but don't ever give up. Like, keep striving to be better, to do better, to, like, on and off the track, that just, always pushing yourself. And like I just told one girl the last race, she's like, oh, I'm just nervous about it. And I was like, listen, go out there and race your race and do as good as you can to where when you cross the finish line, you knew that was the hardest I could ride. And I'm like, and no matter if that's 5th or 1st or whatever your placement, if that's as good as you could have done, be happy with it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to regret it if you're out there just kind of putting around and only doing it halfway, because like we said, it's expensive. So give it your all. And no matter how the outcome is, like if you had a good solid race, whether it was 12th or 1st, like know that is as good as I could do. So be happy about it and enjoy it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And I would say for me, it's kind of similar to that, but it's just go out there and have fun. Like who cares? Doesn't matter. Like, doesn't matter if something's not perfect, and that's a lot coming from me because I'm a perfectionist in particular, but like that used to be stresses of me of like, oh, this isn't perfect and this needs to be that way, and I've worked hard the last couple of years of just trying to be more relaxed about things. And look, being there versus a day at work or not riding or whatever, like, just go out there and have fun.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter. The result doesn't totally matter. Just go out there and have a ball. And who cares about this or who cares about that?
Yeah.
Like, some people hate when it's raining and it's a mudder, and they're like, are you excited? I'm like, dude, I'm so pumped. It's like, how are you excited? It's like, it's all in your attitude. Just have fun.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Okay, you're gonna go ride your 4-wheeler around in a mudder and go slide around and hit some trees and stuff. Just go have a blast with it. Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's kind of the great equalizer at the same time.
Yeah. You know? It's just, if you have a bad attitude about it, it's going to suck. So just have a good attitude and you're going to have so much fun.
Right?
It's that simple.
Yeah. The only part that sucks about it, like we said, is the cleanup.
Yeah, the cleanup does suck.
That
but
part sucks.
You just don't think about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Just wait till that comes and then embrace the suck.
True. Yeah. You know, and I know we kind of touched about this before we even started recording, but we were talking about some of the differences that, you know, obviously when you're looking at numbers, GNCC seems to be doing really good. And, you know, when we're looking at, say, the motocross numbers, they're kind of stagnant right now. Mm-hmm. And we're kind of talking about some of the differences of why GNCC seems a little more attractive than, you know, ATV motocross at this point. And, you know, one of the big things is you two only need to be at the track for one day.
That is a great thing.
You know, it's and I could see, you know, it's almost like a local at that point.
Yeah.
You know, a local motocross race, you show up, you know, Saturday morning, you unload, you go do practice, which you don't get practice at GNCC. Nope. But you know, you show up there, you do all that, you race, then you're done.
Yeah.
You can hang out if you want, or you can load up and go home.
Yep.
Doesn't matter.
I think not only that, but like on a motocross side of things, whether it be at a local or a national, like you go out for practice and then you have Moto 1 and then you have Moto 2. And if you race at nationals, you have practice multiple sessions Friday. If you race multiple classes, then you're going out multiple times Saturday, multiple times Sunday. And it's just like a on and off and back and forth and checking the bike this time and prepping it here and there. And it's like, it's a lot and that can burn you out.
Changing your gear.
And changing your gear, changing gearing, or whatever it might be. Right. Multiple air filters.
Yeah, like, many air filters a day.
There's a lot, in my opinion, a lot more to motocross that can burn you out because of the duration and the little tedious things of it. And like on the wood side of things, you can show up the day of the race in a pickup truck, roll the quad out of the back of the truck, go race, load up, go home.
Yeah.
I mean, we spend a little bit more time there and get to the track Friday morning and walk the track Friday, hang out and enjoy Friday.
Yeah.
And just because they're all our friends there and hang out, it's a little bit more relaxing. And then Saturday's the race. And then guess what? We're home Saturday night. Exactly. And then we get everything cleaned Sunday. And by the time Monday rolls around and you've got to go back to work or school, it's like,
you're relaxed.
I cleaned up.
Yeah.
All I got to do is prep bikes and I'm good to go.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's just it. You know, with motocross, you got Friday, all day Friday is practice.
And you got to be there Thursday night.
Right. To make that work, you got to be there Thursday night. Well, there's nothing saying you have to be there Friday for practice either.
That's
it's just become the mentality that everyone says you have to be there.
Yeah.
You know, and the other thing we talked about too was, you know, the type of machine is a lot more open when it comes to cross country racing as well. You know, you see a little bit of everything at a GNCC race. Like you're gonna see a Cannondale out there most likely. You might see a Blaster out there.
Seen that.
You know, you're gonna have everything. Where now it's like go to a motocross race, you're gonna see, you know, obviously CVTs in the early youth ranks. You're probably gonna see just JB mod in the, you know, your shifters and stuff like that.
Those are expensive.
Oh yeah, they're not. None of them are cheap.
No.
You know, the CVTs are expensive to keep running. That doesn't matter in cross country or moto. I'm sure they're still.
They are. They are very expensive.
But then you go doing that. As you're working your way up, it's like, okay, there's this one machine here. There's this one machine here, and then you get to the full size, you know, adult ranks, and like we said before, it's some Hondas, mostly Yamahas. Every once in a while, you'll throw in like an LTR or, you know, very rarely a Can-Am or a Cowie or something. But, you know, at a GNCC, like there's so much variety of machine, and it's so cool to see a variety of machines.
Yeah. There is a variety, and even in the 4x4 stuff, they have that new single cylinder.
Yeah.
I think it's 700cc class, and you can literally go buy a brand new one and go ride it.
Exactly.
I think that's why the series is bigger.
Because I think there's a bigger variety for no matter what level you're at or what budget you have. Like you can go out there and go race a bone stock quad in a beginner class and be somewhat competitive in that class.
These guys are racing what most of the world thinks we all race.
The motocross bikes are highly elevated compared to what the average person would think.
And I think that's the other thing too is, even talking about the initial build, I feel like a motocross quad is going to take more money to build because we're doing a lot more to them. Because on your bikes, are they YFZ geometry front ends or are they LTR?
We run LTR geometry.
So you are still doing that.
Yep.
But you don't have to throw
swing arm, subframe.
You run stock swing arms, the subframe, a harness. You could do something with it. You don't have to. I mean, you could take.
A lot of guys run stock stems in the woods.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. I suppose they're cheap to get when you bend one.
They are. They're cheap and readily available.
Yeah, eBay, Marketplace, wherever. But I mean, that even goes like we just said with the 4x4, that single cylinder 4x4 class. You buy we'll just stick with Yamaha here. You buy a Grizzly. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's anything saying you have to remove the racks.
No,
you could leave them on.
You can run the racks.
You throw a tether on it, and you can run it. A YFZ, you take that quad, you can throw on a tether, you could throw Nerf bars on it if you want. You don't need to run Nerf bars on it.
Nope.
You don't have to do tires and wheels.
Nope.
You could take that machine. If you're at the dealership and they have a tether on the shelf, throw that on. Saturday morning, you buy that machine and go straight to a race.
Yeah.
You absolutely could. I've seen it at the local level and the national level.
Yeah.
Bone stock, brand new YFZs, some used backyard 400EXs that are bone stock, 4x4 with racks on it, and up to a fully built race bike. Right. So there's a large variety, which I do think helps with numbers and being attractive. And
absolutely, yeah.
There's room for everybody.
Whatever, if you have a four-wheeler, we'll find a class to stick you in.
Exactly. And it's the same in the youth ranks. They have kids that race like stock 125s, stock 250s, up to hybrids and mods.
That mid-size Raptor chassis it seems like that's where they all are nowadays.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's got a 125 four-stroke, a 250 four-stroke, or a dirt bike engine in it.
Yep.
They're probably there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's crazy, and it's good to see that, especially at the GNCC, the national level, you see the numbers that are coming through, and it looks really good. Obviously, we all want them all to do well.
Yeah.
But seeing that at least one of our segments is doing really good right now just helps us.
Yeah.
Period.
It helps everybody. Mm-hmm. And you do have occasionally like some motocross guys that come race one or two cross country races a year, and or you have some woods guys that are like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go race my local motocross this weekend because even though it's a different discipline, like you can go race a woods bike on a motocross track. It's not the ideal setup, but you could do it.
It still works.
Still have fun with it.
Yeah,
and some of those moto guys, if they come to a wider, faster track, okay, you throw some big tires on it, and you could do it. It's not ideal, but you could do it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, Ram Jam is our local indoor place around here. The last time I went there, about a month ago now, it was myself, I think 2 other motocross guys, and then it was like 15 cross-country bikes there. Yeah. Like you roll in and they're all loud, narrow, and tall tire.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
All right, here we go.
I believe it.
And yeah, I mean, they're all just there having a good time, hitting the jumps like we all were, and whatever. I didn't see any frowns on faces anyways.
No.
So.
Nope.
But where can we find you guys on social media?
So I have a TikTok, and that's just under my name.
Okay.
And then same thing with Instagram and Facebook. I believe they're all just under Jessica Elioff.
I think my Instagram is Al Elioff 317.
Okay.
Or if you just type in Alex Elioff itself is pretty not common. So
Okay. Yeah.
that's easy. They're all just under Alex Elioff or Jessica Elioff, and Facebook, Instagram is the common one. She's got a TikTok. I do not.
Hey,
but
it seems like a lot of people I talk to will say they don't have a TikTok, but like I have one for both this and a personal one. And you talk to people that have them, and they do pretty well. I don't know about yours, but
there's some videos that, like, I was just told him, I don't remember which one it was. It's super random on which ones get a whole lot of hits and which ones don't. I think it was last year I bent an axle.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a video of, like, the only thing you see is my rear tire, and then I, like, walk in the front of it, and you can see it spinning and really see the axle bent. It got, like, 28,000
it's
views.
ridiculous, yeah.
I'm like, holy crap, who wants, like, I wouldn't see a tire and want to watch it necessarily,
right.
but, and then just very random videos, and some of them get, like, 8,000 views. The one got 28,000.
Yeah.
Most of them are, like, 3,000 to 5,000, but...
It seems like it either needs to be extreme or have chaos or drama.
Yeah.
That's the ones that do really well. And then also the ones that you put the bare minimum time into making.
Yeah.
Like, if you try to put any sort of production in them, it's not going to do crap.
Yeah.
like,
I'm going to make this really cool, and then you get, like, 1,000 views.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
well, why'd I do that?
Like, that took me 2 hours to make, and it got 6 likes.
Yeah.
Like, now we know we don't do that.
Yeah.
But, and I'll find you guys, and I'll post the links below, so they don't have to search if they don't want to. They can just go down below and click on it. But before we get going, is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to?
It's mostly the same people.
Yeah.
that we both use and run. I'll let her.
Well, we go through. I don't want to be that person that just clicks them all off, but as we talked about through the entire thing, like there's definitely people that help us out more, help us out less, but especially with this sport, I say it all the time, you can't do it alone.
No.
You can't. I mean, I couldn't do it even just with my sponsors without him. So every time, like, he's a huge thanks to me because I don't like working on bikes. There's nothing about it that I enjoy, and I like racing them. I like practicing, and I like racing it. Yeah. So, I mean, he maintains it all. And then how we talked about BNR Motorsports, they're a huge sponsor. Johnny Gallagher at GBC. I mean, we went out to, was it Utah with Fast Flex?
Yeah, we got to go out and check out the Fast
viewed
Flex
the factory
company.
there, so that was
met the owners. That was super cool.
Yeah, very down to earth people. Yamaha Blue Crew, they're a huge thanks. They're helping us out with my bike.
Yeah.
And then even just parts and stuff too. I mean, Yamaha is a huge sponsor for us,
which is awesome.
Yeah. And then Hope at Fly, she's my dealer.
She hooks us up.
She definitely with all that stuff.
Yeah.
Takes care of us for sure. There's Hunter Hart. He's with Quad Tech, so the seats, changing seats, he got us all hooked up with that.
Yeah.
HMF's a good local one. Like, I had a kid last race. He's like, "Do you like your HMF?" I was like, "Yeah, like, I love it. It makes good power. They're reliable." I was like, and cheesy as it sounds, there was her first year racing. I ran a different brand and tried to get a pipe for her and was told I was and wasn't, and played the runaround for like 2 months and felt like I was getting lied to a little bit. And I called HMF in a pinch, and I'm like, "Hey, like, I race, my wife's getting into it. I need to get her a pipe. I realize sponsorship's like way beyond closed. I'd love to run your pipes too, like, and both of us be on them if you can help us out at all. But if not, no big deal. Do you have a pipe? Can I buy a pipe? Something." And within less than a week, they hooked us up with the sponsorship, had us 2 pipes, and we've been with them ever since.
Can't complain about that.
And they're 30 minutes away.
Well, yeah, exactly,
so we can drop them off and pick them up very easily.
Right.
So there's a ton of people, like
Jeff at Hauser.
Our
whole front end.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, another, technically local company.
Yep. So.
Yeah. Well, and it's crazy too, like, I'm sure, basically from how you guys just talked about it too, I was just explaining to someone, like, I technically don't really have any sponsors besides Fly. all the rest are just people that I am friends with that have companies.
Yeah.
Like all these brands, it seems like if you establish a good relationship with them, that's how it continues on.
Yeah.
We've been told, and it seems to hold true more and more year after year, like
like Scott goggles.
the contractual sponsorship, like it's not always like the best deal you're going to get. A lot of her help and support, and kind of like you. Yes, I have some sponsors and some help, but I take her hand-me-down bikes every year. So I'm not purchasing a ton of parts for myself.
Yeah.
But any company that helps her helps me. It helps us.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
But yeah, like you just build those relationships and those friendships, and it's like you don't have a actual on paper contract, and it's by a handshake or by verbiage of, hey, like, we good for next year? Yep, we're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. And
exactly.
Those are some of the better deals that you just build relationships with over time, and I think that's just goes into what we were saying earlier, how you uphold yourself on and off the track, and how you represent that brand to where they're comfortable with you of not needing a contract, and they know what they're gonna get out of you, and they're appreciative of what you do for that brand. And I think all that goes a further way than an actual contract. Sure, the relationship starts with a resume and meeting and all that, but if you
years later,
if you go above and beyond and build that relationship, it's the best deals that you're ever going to get.
Exactly. Yeah, and it is the, you see, that's what I was kind of saying too, like how where this is really evolving the sport the most is in this aspect. Is, how many people out there, their only communication with whatever brand is by sending them an email at the end of the season when sponsorship time is open or whatever.
Yep.
Right.
The ones that work and ones that you're going to potentially build something good out of are the companies where you're talking to them on a monthly, weekly, daily basis, getting an actual relationship with them to the point where they're maybe texting you, just asking how everything's going. Do you need anything? Or, hey, we're in this area. What are you doing right now?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy what things can turn into. Because, like I said, like a lot of these companies that I deal with personally on my machines is all people I've known over the years and, have done sponsorships with them. But at this point now, it's just like, these are the people that I can text on a daily basis and just say, hey, what's up? What are you doing today? Yeah. It's crazy. And that's where we all need to get to the point of.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, especially like with HMF, right there, like that was just something in a pinch. They came through for you, obviously.
They stepped up big time and took a leap of faith with us, I'd say. And yeah.
And how happy are they now?
Yeah, we're super loyal to them and think highly of them.
Exactly. So, and that's a brand that you see a lot in the cross-country side of things. Yeah. That you don't really see on the other disciplines.
No, and it's like, I don't know why, but
and even Hauser nowadays, like you don't really see a lot of motocross quads with Hauser on them, even though they were one of the main brands at one point. Yeah. So it's just like, why? What's the reasoning for that? Did too many people burn their bridges, and cross country people are there and doing a lot more for them? Yeah. Or I don't know.
It's probably a combination of.
It could be. Yeah. It could be. I mean, because that's just it. Like, one shithead can ruin a lot for many people.
It certainly can. It certainly can.
And someone's always watching. Like, even at the gym, our normal attire is racing clothing. Yep. So I think we had on a HMF shirt one time at the gym, and someone approached us like, "Oh yeah, do you guys race? Like, what do you ride?" And so just always trying to be that better example, because someone is always watching you. Exactly. Even to the point of, we were in Dairy Queen last year, and someone else at the gym was behind us in line. They're like, "Hey, I don't want to sound creepy, but I notice you guys in the gym every morning, and I'm just really happy to see you're like slacking and eating some ice cream too."
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not creepy at all. No. But you're noticed everywhere, and I think that goes back to what we've hit on multiple times of just being that better person, the better example, to where someone wants to support you, they want to help you, and something like racing has brought us so many cool opportunities, and an awesome opportunity for us this coming August is just how we upheld ourselves at the track.
Yeah.
They wanted to put together a all women's team to go out and race in France.
Oh, yeah.
So Kyle Gross came to us and asked if like he could put together a team. So that's a once in a lifetime possible opportunity for me to go race in France, and just seeing the support that we've had so far with me, Chloe, and Avery as the 3-girl team going out there and being the first women's team to compete for the USA is just awesome to see, because like the support that we've had so far, I'm like, this is really cool that people are so much wanting to support us and wanting to see us succeed, that it's an awesome opportunity for us to be able to go out to France and race a 4-wheeler. Like how you've said multiple times, that just have fun with it. Right. And on the stressful days, we're like, oh man, I need to get a good start. I need to have a good race. Like I need to get it on the podium. Like I'm riding my 4-wheeler. Like how can I not be happy? Some other people, like some other kids never get the opportunity to do what we're doing. So enjoy every aspect of it, because I don't know when my last year is going to be.
That's just it. Yeah, you never know. Like this riding in general could end at any moment.
Yeah. Or a bad crash and breaking your neck and being out for a couple races.
Walking down the street could end it.
Yeah. Or Walker Fowler breaking his back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's you just got to enjoy every moment of it and give back as much as you've been given.
Exactly. I think we've had a lot of really good points here. So, but no, I really appreciate you guys coming today and sitting down and talking to me. I know this has been a few reschedules.
Yeah,
and
I know. It's busy time of the year.
Yeah. Well, busy time of year, and like everybody has lives, obviously. Yeah. So, but no, I'm really happy we were finally able to sit down and chat for a little while. And
for sure.
Hopefully we can, at the end of the season or something, have you back on. We could be talking about some championships and everything else.
That'd be great.
So, but yeah, thank you again. It's been really great.
Thank you.
So, it was awesome.
Yeah, but thank you for tuning into this episode of 4-Wheel Frenzy. And of course, 4-Wheel Frenzy is brought to you by Spin Money Motorsports and viewers like you. So stay tuned, and we'll be back with another episode soon.